I'm Megan. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. I'm so happy you clicked on this video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why I can't drive. Now, I think a lot of people, when I tell them I can't drive, they assume it's because of my CP, and while that does play a factor in making it harder for me to be able to drive, is not the main reason why I can't drive. If I only had to worry about my CP, then I could probably be able to drive. I guess you would have to think about like a car that is accessible and making sure the car I'm driving is accessible to use with one hand. But because of other reasons, like having a accessible car won't do me any good because of what I'm gonna talk about today. So I would say for a long time, my family always thought I would be able to drive. As long as I have a car that is accessible to me, I'll be able to drive. But when I was diagnosed with hemianopsia at 14 or 15, it was beginning of high school, that idea of me being able to drive, kind of went out the window. Being diagnosed with that, I was basically told it wouldn't be safe for me to drive. When I heard that, it was kind of hard because I always thought I would be able to drive as long as I have an accessible car. This is all I ever known. I don't know any different in terms of how I see since I was born with it. So I don't know what it's like to have normal vision. I don't know what I'm missing in a sense. So it gets it's frustrating because I'm kind of on that borderline that I'm not enough to be blind or legally blind, but I have enough vision loss to be considered having vision problems and being considered visually impaired. So I'm in between that, so it can be frustrating to be I could figure out how to drive, but then on top of that, I have CP. So it's not I guess have hemianopsia, I have CP on top of that. And not only that, but at 21 years old, I got diagnosed with epilepsy. So that is another reason that makes it harder to drive, because even though at this point I'm taking medication and I haven't had a seizure in a while, that's sort of that fear what if I have a seizure, you know what I mean? So that's another factor that plays in why it is harder to drive and why it gets for me, I don't feel safe being able to drive. Even though it mostly has to do with my vision, for the main reason why it is not safe, having CP and epilepsy on top of that just makes it even harder. So when I got diagnosed with hemianopsia, it was hard at first, and I was sad because that's something I wanted to be able to do one day. And when I got diagnosed with epilepsy, I wasn't as sad because I knew at that point it would be hard for me to drive, and it wouldn't be the best decision, and it wouldn't be safe for me to drive. Now, how I feel about it now, I have accepted the fact that I will, probably never be able to drive. Yes, there is that possibility of self-driving cars. Maybe one day I'll be able to try that, but in terms of how I feel about not being able to drive, it honestly depends on the day, but overall I have accepted that fact, and I have accepted I'm just gonna have to find different ways to get around, use public transportation. Yes, I have my days where it is hard and I wish I could drive, as I said in some other videos, and I don't like when people complain about driving to me sometimes, because it can be hard when I hear people complain a lot. So I don't like that fact, because I think sometimes people take it for granted and they don't realize how lucky they are to be able to do that. So it can be hard, but overall I'm okay with it now, and I have accepted that I'm just gonna have to find different ways to get around. And what's best is to be safe, and it's not completely safe for me to do it. Like, could I do it? Like, maybe, but with, you know, my CP, with having hemianopsia, with also having epilepsy, it's just not the best decision. And I have come in terms with that, and I'll probably always like have my days where, you know, I want to be able to drive and I wish I could, and it's like, why? But I try to be as positive as possible, and I know it's okay. I guess be grateful for what I have. So that is like why I can't drive. I know I want to make this video, I guess, because I know, you know, a lot of people assume right away because of my CP, and even though it does play a factor, like I said, it's not the main reason why I can't drive. It mostly has to do with my vision, but also, you know, having to do with other things I have as well. So yeah, and I just want you to know, like, if you can't drive as well because of your disability, like, it is okay. Like, you're not alone. I hope you like this video, and if you do, give it a thumbs up. It really helps me a lot. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I post every Monday and Friday, and I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.